Joining the show tonight, this right-handed quarterback did his best Tim Tebow on Saturday afternoon, had a jump pass to ice one of the biggest upsets in college football this year, under center for Alma College, Carter St. John. What's up, fella?
How's it going? Thanks for having me on. Sweet
Thanks for
thing you got
coming
going.
on, dude.
Yeah.
I heard you talk about on the around the nation. You kind of blacked out on the play call, or what?
Not a little bit, definitely did.
I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just broke the news to the offensive coordinator and the offensive line coach that I did black out during it, and so like everyone's running the wrong play. Uh, the center, my best friend JB Couch, uh, started pass blocking when
I saw that on the clip, bro. I was
again,
confused.
he was he was mad that I said the offensive line did the wrong thing, so I want to make sure everyone knows I called the wrong play. So
Hell
everyone
yeah.
everything wrong. It was completely on me, but thankfully just me and Cole Thomas were at least on the same page when he caught it and fell in the end zone. So
That's a good
um,
quarterback right there, dude. Come on here and use the platform before anything else to take what you need to take. But I gotta imagine, did you guys have a fun call for that one? Maybe instead of like the pop pass, like a Scott pass, or did you have like a kilt audible, or what was the
no, it's just called Tebow. I mean, for a pretty
what was it?
obvious reason.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
And for the record, if we're in the taking credit and taking blame, I didn't know that when I ripped the intro, so that makes me feel a lot better about that.
yeah.
I like it, dude. That's big time. And speaking of kilt, Coach Couch, he's got some balls under that kilt of his, calling that play at the end of that one. And I think everyone in that stadium did not expect that one. You guys try and ram it up the gut a couple times. Obviously, that front five, that offensive line for you has been great all year. So everyone, including myself, thought, hey, why not give it one more go? Maybe this time we cross the plane.
Yeah.
You looked like you got a little antsy on the sell and maybe didn't sell it quite enough, but like you said, it all worked out. Reflecting on it it probably just had to be a blur, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I already blacked out beforehand. So then afterwards, I watched the replay again, and I didn't know what celebration I hit afterwards, but I got up in the air too. I think I chest bumped the kicker afterwards. But yeah, I mean, great play call. I mean, we didn't have any timeouts, so first down, 13 seconds. We couldn't get the NASCAR field goal on.
Yep.
So I mean, it was either the quarterback run up the middle or kind of nothing. And so, I mean, I guess they fell for it a little bit, I guess, just threw it over the top. But yeah, great play call. It's kind of funny because normally we have a different package that'll come in. So I'm not normally the short yardage quarterback. Normally it's
Yeah.
Davin
Yep.
Rife that'll come in and do all the short, dirty work because I'm a pretty boy and can't do it. But normally he comes in. So we practice the pass, I think, once or twice throughout practice. So that was either my second or third time actually running the play,
Okay.
um, but not
I
too
was gonna
bad.
ask about that too, and how many times, because every team's got that like trick play session that comes in, like whether it's the preseason or week 1 or week 2, where you're like, yeah, we need a couple of these in our back pocket. I know way too many teams that will sit on those and just let them rot until the end of the year. I'm glad that it actually made an appearance here in a pretty big moment.
Yeah, I think we run quite a few trick plays. It's
Yeah.
just
No, you
we
guys
just
definitely aren't lacking creativity over there. We
we
know
have
we know
fun.
that one for sure. And now you make a play like that, you get to be quite the media personnel. You're going to be a pro in front of the microphone here pretty soon.
Yeah, it's pretty cool having all this stuff from interviews and whatnot. But really, I kind of sit back and look at the game, and I didn't really. I mean, obviously, 24 points in the fourth quarter against that good of a defense is
Hmm.
cool, but I mean, just credit to all the defensive guys, especially Gage Nelson and Odin Safardini, that kind of, I mean, held their offense at 20 points throughout the entirety of the game. Because I mean, they could have given up, said, "Oh, the offense isn't doing their thing."
Hmm.
Quarters in, and just like screw it. This is like we're gonna lose and giving up. But no, they had the heart to fight until the very end. And when they had that big stop with a minute and 30 left, I like felt it was my responsibility to kind of get it back for them for the lacking of offense that went on for the first three quarters. So it was nice to see those guys really stick with us.
That's why we play 4 quarters, man, because you got a chance to
Yeah.
go do that stuff. Now, talk about that defense. And not to say that you guys had any lack of confidence heading in there in the second round. You're a very capable football team. We've seen it all year. But with that being said, after the first quarter, it's 0-0. Was there a sense of not surprise, but almost like, like, guys, like, this is more winnable than ever. Like, there's a chance we really bust this open on the road. I had to feel like your confidence, even though you weren't technically in the lead after that first quarter, had to be pretty high.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it before, but like a lot of teams go into Mount Union already down 14-0 just because of the mindset of how
Absolutely.
great a program they are, and they've earned it. But at the end of the day, we're here. We've made the second round of the playoffs as well. You have to play, every second of the game, and so yeah, definitely that first quarter kind of helped. Like we're I don't want to say I don't know how to say it, but just like we're here, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we can play too, is kind of what we were thinking. Like, again, is all I think it's all a lot of the confidence came from that defense that was able to hold them to I'd assume they're the least point total they had.
Yeah, I'm going to
So
go out on a limb and say you're damn right, and it's not even close. So I don't
yeah,
actually need to pull up the stats to verify that one because I know enough up here.
yeah,
And I think you're being generous by holding off on saying that too. But either way, you see all the positive outreach, talk about it after a game like that. And to me, an outsider, someone who just talks into a microphone, to me, that does one of two things for you guys. And either A, you've made the next step, especially coming off last year in a heartbreaking loss for you guys in a very similar situation, albeit a different team. Now you've taken that next step. You've exceeded quite literally everyone's expectations, which has got to feel pretty damn good. But now does that moving forward is all the weight off your shoulders and it just allows you to play incredibly free and you've kind of accomplished this incredible feat? Or is it the other side of the spectrum and now there's more pressure maybe than there even was before because of what you've been able to accomplish?
I think there's a middle ground. Obviously, we did, I guess,
Good
what
answer.
was
I'm baiting you with that one, but good answer. I'll let you finish it.
we did what was unthinkable to the Division 3 world. Although I think inside of our building, we knew we would be able to beat them. But I think it's two sides of it. Like we just beat the number 2 team in the nation, so keep going, keep playing hard, keep doing what we've been doing. But also, we still have one game. The most important game is the next one, so we have
Hell yeah.
one game uh, this Saturday, and so we still have to play regardless. Can't get too high, can't get too low on anything. So just kind of playing how we've been playing and try to keep it rolling.
Now, whether you're the self-proclaimed pretty boy over there, resident pretty boy for the Scots team or not, 90-yard drive, 129 on the clock, I believe, seemed to be a pretty even keel guy and all the stuff that I've seen from you, whether it be on or off the field. You don't feel like you get too high or too low, which is a great quality for a quarterback to have. Was it like that in that moment, or were you feeling a lot of those emotions and those kind of things?
I think so. One of the alumni that I'm fairly close with, Steve Ernst, texted me before the game saying there are 2 billion people in China that don't give a crap about what the outcome of the game is.
Is that what he said? Don't give a crap?
Well, he didn't say that, but so just like, no matter
I
what
love it.
happens, just playing your best that you can, regardless of the situation. Obviously, a little bit nerve-wracking there at the end, but at the end of the day, the defense got the ball back to the offense, and again, like I said, just trying to pay back our dues to the defense, so we're able to have one more week. But yeah, I don't think anyone was really super nervous going into that last drive because we'd been able to move the ball fairly well. Once we got going, it was just trying to get going was a struggle a little bit in the first 3 quarters, but once we got it rolling, we got rolling.
Yeah, and it sounded like hearing you talk about it, it felt, at least from your perspective, like you guys were one big play away from busting open a lot of those previous possessions. That kind of was the mindset moving forward is that, hey, it's this possession or it's not, and we need to have it right here. So, I mean, I know one of the mottos that I definitely go by football or life in general is it needs to happen, so it's going to happen. And it's kind of what it seems to be, at least from my perspective, how you guys approached it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think once Jordan Williams broke that little angle route, we were in field goal range.
Hmm.
So just from there, it's just being smart. But yeah, I mean, what he bust off for 52 yards, I think that made everything a little bit more easy for the rest of the drive. Just knowing we were in that field goal range, just not doing anything stupid with the ball, being aware of the clock. Yeah, I think made a very nice play. I think just busted it through, broke one tackle and then got tackled eventually down probably around the 20-ish,
Yeah.
something like that. But that was just huge for us because now we can not be cautious, but know at least there will be an overtime.
Pretty tough environment to play in over there, or what?
I mean, here and there. I think their fans expected to win, so I think the Scots travel very well, and so I
Hell
think
yeah.
almost had more fans than they did. I would,
Hell yeah.
although it was at least close. But listening back to the radio broadcast of the cheers that happened after that last little Tebow pass, I mean, it just exploded. Like I had to turn the volume down on my uh, headphones just because. I mean, I think the Scots travel very, very well, regardless of where we're playing.
And with that being said, talk about this weekend, man. The ability and the opportunity to host the quarterfinal in Alma. That has got to be a fucking awesome prospect for you and that squad over there. And, you know, whether you guys travel well or not, I know they're going to show up and that place is going to be absolutely rocking on Saturday. Talk about that.
Yeah, special place here in Alma. I think a lot of the success recently has brought a lot of alumni back. A lot of the students are super engaged in it. I mentioned it before, but a lot of the other sports teams, the football team tries to support everyone, and I think a lot of the sports around here in Alma just support each other. So it's super awesome seeing a lot of the guys that aren't dressing, that are kind of on the practice or on the scout team and just in the back of the end zone on both sides, just feeling it. It's awesome. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an earthquake, something like that.
That was like man, I think it was Seattle where they had the dude, I'm not smart enough to know what measures the earthquakes or like the magnitude, like the Richter scale and all that. But whatever it was, the thing was set off by the Seattle Seahawks and their, I think it was the Beastquake. That's what it was. It
Yeah,
was the Beastquake run from Lynch into the end
yeah, oh,
zone.
yeah.
Whatever that instrument is, we need one down in Alma this weekend, and we're gonna set it off. That'd be pretty electric. But to finish it off, we are going to talk about you a little bit. So you're going to stomach this, and then we'll talk about some of your teammates. So you'll be able to dish it off after I gas you up a bit. Now, I wanted to ask: does last year to this year feel like a very, I don't know what the word is, but does it feel like as big of a jump as maybe on paper it is? Your completion percentage almost goes up almost 10%. You're taking great care of the ball. You have less than half your interceptions than just a year ago today, and now you're having more yards and on the ground and through the air per game than you've had in your career. And I just wanted to know, does it feel like you've taken that step, or is that just same players, same game, just with great guys around him and a great scheme?
Yeah, definitely. You can try to ask about me all you want, but it's definitely the scheme, definitely the receivers, the running backs, the offensive line that's doing all the work.
Oh,
I
yeah.
kind of joke around by myself by saying I'm kind of a system quarterback. I think a lot of people are able to kind of do the things that I'm able to just because of the system and the players that I'm thankful and grateful to be around. I think offensive coordinator Zach Riepma does a great job of calling plays, making sure I'm very well versed in what the defense upcoming will be in. And I just try to I joke around that I'll close my eyes and one of the receivers will come down with it, and sometimes that's what I do. But
I love it.
everyone's doing a great job here, and hopefully we keep it rolling.
Carter St. Purdy, dude. I like it. We'll finish it off then talking about some of those teammates, man. The trust you have in the guys outside first, guys like Frenchco and Webb that have been there for years. And then you got, some newer guys in the team, new faces like Zach Poff. What is their relationship with the guys on the outside? Like you said, whether you're throwing it to them with one eye, two eyes, or blindfolded.
Yeah, we try to. I've done a little bit more kind of one-on-one film with all the receivers,
Okay.
just to make sure we're all on the same page. Every Friday, a few of the guys will come down and we'll just go through kind of what we think every like formation, what they're gonna come out and what route. All right, we have this route. What do you want me to do? How do you want me to do it? And then I'll go through kind of, okay, here's how you can change it. We'll watch the practice film. Here's what maybe could happen. What if I do this? What if you do this? Just trying to always be on the same page with everyone, just so there aren't any huge mistakes, and then just being able to give them an opportunity to make the plays that they've been able to make throughout the entire season.
And finally, I'll let you rave about your boys a little bit more. The front five, man, that offensive line unit. As far as conference play is concerned, you guys had more than 500 yards on the ground, more than even the next team in second place. I don't even remember who it was, but when it comes to pounding the rock, it feels like in this part of the Midwest, almost nobody does it better. Talk about those guys and what you're able to do with them.
Yeah, I think JB Couch, the center, has done a great job along with Reese Townsend, the right tackle, and then our left guard, Maddox Moselle, have really been able to step up. And I think, let's see, Reese started last year, was the only returner from last year.
Okay.
Owen,
Wow.
left tackle. And then we've had kind of just whoever's hot at right guard between Nico Preslowski or Lance Rodemaker. Sorry. Between all of them, Owen Dank, Maddox Moselle, and JB are both sophomores. All of them are sophomores. Reese is a junior now, who's getting old, and then fifth year Nico, and Lance is also a senior. So I think
Yeah,
the young guys have really stepped up.
good.
Obviously, having guys graduate from last year and having pretty much new unit in there's a little bit stressful at the beginning of the year, but then I think the communication between all of them have been excellent. And then along with that, just when we're able to pound the rock like that, it opens up a lot of more passing windows for me.
Pretty good for a system guy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all right to be a system quarterback when you're in a pretty good system. And you're a
Doesn't-
lot more than that, dude. I appreciate you coming on. I think that's all I got for you. But I know that place is going to be electric this Saturday. You and the boys certainly will not disappoint. Excited to see, tune into that one and also see the results. But Carter, thank you again, man. I appreciate it a lot. Have a good rest of your night and rest of this game week, prep week.
You too. Thanks for having me again.
But looking towards the other side of the bracket, let's talk about that Alma Mount Union matchup in a little bit more specificity here. And I think we can probably start with that last play and then work our way backwards. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, the pop pass. I don't know. Did they have like a nickname for that play yet? You know how there's like the Minneapolis Miracle or something? I feel like
Yeah, at
like
this point in time, I know in the episode it's happened yet, but I have Carter coming on late. I have to still record the interview, so that'll be one of my questions: is if they have like the Scott pass maybe or something. You know what I mean? Like something funny like that.
If I had a question to ask him, I would have also asked that. And then obviously Carter St. John being one of our players of the week this week.
Yeah.
303 yards passing and 3 touchdowns against maybe the best defense in the country. I would maybe say North Central is also. But again, Mount Union had only been allowing I want to say 10 points a game leading up to this one. So, I mean, throwing for 300 and 3 touchdowns against Mount Union is just maybe one of the best performances of the year we've seen.
Absolutely. And he's won our player of the week honors during the regular season. The dude has been balling out this year. And, you know, part of that might be the lack of strength of schedule for Mount Union coming out of that conference. I know their commanding win over John Carroll was probably their statement win inside of the OAC. But other than that, man, who do they play? And I think that's part of the reason why the expectations are so high for the Purple Raiders, because they have just owned that conference for so long. And, you know, at this point, could you point the finger to that being one of the reasons why they struggled in one of these contests? Because they don't see this level of competition throughout the year. And that's not to say that Alma plays in the best conference either. You know, they didn't play a whole lot of competitive games. Their game over Hope was probably more of their statement win for that MIAA title. But, you know, looking at that last little series as they got close to the end of the game there, and here it is, man, that little pop pass. And I'm gonna play that one a couple times. I gotta go back and just hit this. You'll see here, quick pass to the outside, and they get it going. And I believe before the pop pass, they ran it 2 or 3 times right up the middle, correct?
Yeah, I want to say so.
Yeah, and then right there, I mean, you see it, man. That just little Carter St. John. He didn't have to sell it too much either. If you look, I'm going to just pause it, grabs it, takes just a few steps forward. I thought the sell could have probably been better, but when you see Mount Union here, every single one of them collapsed. This guy coming off the outside here on the left side is trying to collapse in and stop the run, and this dude is wide ass in the end zone. That is heartbreak on so many levels for that Mount Union squad.
Yeah, just unfortunate. And then I have an interesting stat from this game. I think it might, because considering all of what we talked about before, Mount Union won the time of possession 40-20.
Damn.
Yeah, but they did lose the turnover battle, though.
Yep.
So I think that definitely probably was the dagger for them. But, I mean, when you have the ball for 20 more minutes than the other team, typically you're going to win that football game. But
yeah, no, absolutely. And that's a metric that, like you said, usually is a kind of a fail-safe to know, you know, what team is going to come out on top. As we've seen, not always the case. But, You see right here, one of those turnovers right there, that interception in the end zone, and that was in the first quarter, which after the first quarter, if you remember, this game was scoreless. So Purple Raiders coming down in the first quarter, threatening to score and get ahead early. Alma stops that drive, and I think that ended up being crucial for them because when you come out of the first quarter scoreless, I think what that does for an Alma team that obviously knows they're the underdog in this situation, all of a sudden you're sitting there on the sideline and you're like, not that they didn't have confidence before, but like, holy shit, guys, we can hang with these guys and we can win this game. Like, again, all the dudes are going to have confidence heading into the game. I know that. We've played the sport. We know that. But when you are at a point in the game like that where you actually see it happening, your confidence doubles down. And now all of a sudden, I think Alma comes out with a little bit of a different fire. Now, offensively, we didn't see that fire till the fourth quarter. They scored, what, 24 unanswered?
Yeah. I mean, that's just one of those games. I have to go back and look, but this is probably the biggest win in program history.
Man, I would have to believe so. And again, I'd have to go back and actually check. And now there's probably some other ones that certainly are up there with the history and tradition of this program. But shit, I'd be willing to put this above almost all of them.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. And obviously with Mount Union, it comes to an end, a couple storied careers, guys like Braxton Plunk and Wayne Ruby and those kind of big names that we've seen out of Mount Union, but so many more guys that this was kind of their last crack at it as a Purple Raider. And in that stretch to not be able to get the job done is got to be tough for them. It's with such a star-studded roster. There's Ruby right there with a little bit of a toe tap on the sideline, and it's just so much talent on that squad. The fact that they weren't able to pull this one in was really surprising. And now Alma gets to host this next week, which is crazy. And they announced that regionally that they're going to have Cortland come into town. This is going to be an exciting one for the Scots.
Yeah, and I think they're going to keep this rolling. I'm going to go with Alma on this one. They're -4. I thought it was interesting. The over/under for this game is 68.
Really?
That was like weirdly high. I think I'm going to go under and then Alma -4 in this one. I'm going to go like 27-21.
Okay.
I think Cortland puts up a really good fight. They got a really good team. But man, oh man, I expected more out of them last week against Grove City. I think that was a little too close for me to be able to pick them this week. But again, could be wrong. I'm not perfect, but I'm looking to keep up the hot streak at 20-4.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Let's talk a little bit about that Cortland Grove City matchup.